Okay. Maybe he just left.
There is a delay.
Okay, good afternoon, Mrs. Siti Zakia. How are you today? Good afternoon, Mrs. Siti Zakia. How are you today?
Oh, good afternoon. Oh, okay, Dr. Annie.
Yeah.
Finally, yeah?
Yeah, finally we have a webinar Zoom together. Malaysia, UK, and Indonesia. We still waiting Mr. Roman Cahya from UK.
Okay, that's
Maybe yeah, maybe 5 minutes he want to join with us.
okay. Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
Recording in progress.
There is a Mr. Afandi from Malaysia, Mrs. Siti Zakia, Mr. Afandi.
I saw Dr. Afandi just now, but
Dr. Afandi, Dr. Jimmy, Dr. Afandi, Dr. Jimmy, and
I'm not
then
so sure with that because actually at the moment we are in the opening ceremony of our orientation program. So the deans and also the deputy deans, directors are now gathering at the hall for the opening ceremony.
oh,
I'm the only one. Excuse.
They started today. Just started today, ma'am.
Yes. This morning is the registration. So this afternoon is the opening ceremony by our president.
Okay, maybe Bu Julie, we can start now.
What about Mr. Fitra Roman?
Wait a minute, Mr. Fitra Roman. He said that okay. Wait a minute, maybe we wait Mr. Roman first, and then Mrs. Retno in here.
Good afternoon, Indonesian time.
Good afternoon, Mr. Roman Cahya. How
How
are
are
you?
you? I'm good, thank you.
Fine.
Yourself?
Now we meet together in international webinar with Mrs. Siti Zakia from Multimedia University, Malaysia University, and Udinus, and then the University of Essex, UK.
Mr. Fitra?
Hello. Good afternoon, Indonesian time. Good morning, UK time.
Good morning, UK time. What time in UK, Mr. Roman?
It's surprising that we both obtained the Bachelor of Commerce in Accounting from the same university in the same year, 19. So basically, we were alumni of Universitas Islam Indonesia.
The same year. The
Yeah.
same year. Oh, enrolled in 1997
Remember the
or?
name of the dean?
When I joined, it was
Suarsono.
Swarsono when I graduated, yes.
Oh, I see.
Nice to meet you, by the way.
Did you have the experience being taught by Mr. Ahyar?
Yeah. So when I was there, Master Ahyar was the director of international program. So I was in the international program.
You're in
Really? Oh, okay. Wow. So you graduated in 2002, yeah? The same as?
No, 1918. Exactly the same with you. 1980.
I joined in 1997.
Oh, you joined in 19. You mean
Yes.
join the international program?
Yes. I enrolled in 1997 and completed in 2002.
Oh, I see. I completed
Yeah.
the bachelor in 1980, 1998.
Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, you were his assistant, yeah? Fantastic. Yeah. We met in
Oh,
London, basically.
you live in UK or?
Yes, I do. I live in Colchester, 1 hour by train from central London.
I see. So you live in Essex now, sir?
Yes, and the city is called Colchester. The county's name is called Essex.
Essex.
Essex. So Colchester is part of the Essex, but interestingly, the University of Essex is located in Colchester. Yeah.
Halo, Assalamualaikum. Prof. Halim, monggo silahkan bergabung, Prof. Sudah dimulai acara, Prof. Nggih. Iya.
Sir, how many students in your campuses, especially in business faculty?
Okay. The number of students, yeah. For undergrad, total for business school is about like between 400 and 500 per year.
Per year?
Per year, new students in Essex Business School, and they can be accounting students, marketing, and so on. And this year we received 13 or 14 new PhD students. Yeah, in accounting on we received between 13 and 15 new PhD students, and we are in the accounting department, accounting group. We have about 32, 33 academic staff. I used to work at Universitas Islam Indonesia as well, and I left the university in 2020, moving to Essex.
In 2020?
Until 2020.
Oh.
And then I moved to Essex. Yes. I moved to Essex during the pandemic.
Okay, today we have.
Sorry.
Yes, we still wait. Prof. Halim probably already joined with us. Now maybe we can start. Mrs. Julie.
We start now. Excellencies, distinguished guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon you. Good afternoon, and we are very delighted to welcome you all to our international webinar entitled Research Opportunities in Sustainability Accounting, organized by Master of Accounting, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, and Upside. And I'm Julie Ratnawati. I serve as Master Ceremony and Moderator on this event. Before we start, I inform the agenda of this event. The first is the opening. The second is the international webinar. It is followed by the discussion session or question and answer session. And the third is the closing. Okay, now we move to the first, the opening. The Honorable Vice Chancellor of Research and Partnership Sectors, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, Profesor Dr. Ulung Nurtantio Andono, STMCom. Good afternoon, sir. The Honorable Dean of Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, Dr. Retno Indah Hirnawati, SAMSI. Good afternoon, ma'am. The Honorable Vice Dean of Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, Dr. Usman SAMT. Good afternoon, sir. The Honorable Head of Cooperation and International Affairs, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, Dr. Insinyur Dwi Eko Waluyo MM. Good afternoon, sir. The Honorable the Head of PhD Program in Management, Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, Professor Dr. Amron MM. Good afternoon, sir. The Honorable the Head of Master of Management Program, Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, Dr. Johan Wismantoro, SAMM. Good afternoon, sir. The Honorable the Head of Master of Accounting Program, Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, and she is speaker in the seminar, Eni Susilowati Marjono, MSI, AKT, PhD, CA, CFMA, Asian CPA. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
The Honorable Head of Management Program, Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, Dr. Mahmud SEMM. Good afternoon, sir. And the Honorable the Head of Accounting Program of Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, Dr. Anna Sumaryati, MSI. Good afternoon, ma'am. And the Honorable Keynote Speaker, Professor Dr. Abdul Halim, MBA, AKCA, Chairman of APSI. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
The Honorable Speaker, Fitra Roman Cahaya, BCom, MCom, PhD, CSRS plus, CSRA, FHEA, lecturer in accounting from the University of Essex, United Kingdom. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
And the Honorable Speaker, Dr. Siti Zakiah binti Melatus Samsi, the Dean of FOB Multimedia University, Malacca, Malaysia. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Assalamualaikum everyone.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen, to officially open our webinar, we would like to invite Dr. Retno Indah Hirnawati, SAMSE, Dean of Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, to deliver the opening remarks. Ma'am, time is yours.
Thank you, Miss Yuli. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, Mr. Roman and participants from UPU. Yeah, I hope it's not too early for you. Good afternoon to all participants from Malaysia and Indonesia. I warmly welcome our speakers, Mr. Fitra Roman Cahaya PhD, Miss Dr. Siti Zakiah Melatus Samsi, and Miss Eni Susilowati PhD, who are willing to give the time to share their knowledge with us today. We are sure that the speakers will give beneficial insights for all of us here. We would also thanks to gratitude to Professor Dr. Abdul Halim MBA as a chairman of APSI and Professor Dr. Pulung Nur Tantio Andono, Magister of Computer as a Vice Rector for Research and Collaboration UDINUS. For the opportunity of support given. We regularly hold international events for students from many countries, and I hope that we will gather valuable insight in the field of economic and business, especially now with more complex challenges ahead of us. All efforts are made to make the economic growth sustainable. This is in line with our topics today, Yeah, I think the research opportunities in sustainability accounting. Okay, finally, I would like to thanks again to the speakers, upside, the committee, and all of the participants, and those who have organized the webinar. On behalf the Faculty of Economic and Business Udinus, I hope everyone enjoy the session and takes the opportunities to gain valuable knowledge. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for the warm opening speech, ma'am. We are now going to listen the welcome remarks delivered by the Vice Chancellor of Research and Partnership Sectors, Universitas Nuswantoro. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Dr. Pulung Nurtantio Andono, ST MCom. Sir, time is yours.
Profesor Dr. Abdul Halim MBA AKT, Chairman of Indonesia, Jawa Tengah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and esteemed colleagues, I warmly welcome our keynote speaker, Fitra Roman MCom PhD from the University of Essex, England, UK. Dr. Siti Zakiah binti Melatu Samsi, Multimedia University Malaka, Malaysia. Profesor Dr. Abdul Halim MBA AKT, Chairman of Indonesia Magister of Accounting Study Program Association. Eni Susilowati Marjono, SA AKT MSc PhD, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, Indonesia. And also I would like to greet Dr. No Indah Heramati as a Dean of Faculty Economic and Business Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, which also present to give her welcoming speech. Welcome to the international webinar on research opportunities in sustainability accounting. It's a true honor to be here with you today as we explore this important and timely topic. Over the next few hours, we will hear from distinguished speakers who are eager to share their knowledge and insight. I encourage each of you to make the most of this opportunity by actively participating. Ask questions, share your perspective, and connect with one another. We are proud to announce that this event is a collaboration between the Master of Accounting Program at Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, APSSAI, and several international universities. We are joined today by participants from 3 countries, the United Kingdom, Malaysia, and Indonesia. We hope this webinar provides valuable insight from students and academics on research in sustainability accounting, digital accounting, and the opportunities and challenges in this field. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to University of Essex, UK, Multimedia University Malaysia, IAI, KAPD, Ikatan Akuntan Indonesia, and APSSAI, Indonesia Association of Master of Accounting Program, for their participation. I truly hope that this collaboration will continue and lead lasting partnership between our institutions. I also want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our sponsor and partners. Your support has been instrumental in making the organizing committee. Thank you for your dedication, hard work in bringing this webinar to life. We're deeply grateful for your efforts. Thank you again for being here, for your enthusiasm, and for your participation. Let us work together to make this webinar an inspiring and transformative experience. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for the excellent speech, sir. Now we will listen inspiring insight from our keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Abdul Halim MBA, Akas, the chairman of UPSI. Sir, time is yours.
Thank you very much for the opportunities. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning for Dr. Fitra Roman, who is right now in UK and Europe. Respected Vice Rector for Research and Collaboration at Universitas Dian Nuswantoro Semarang, Profesor Pulung Nurtantio Andono, respected Dean of the Faculty of Business and Economics at Universitas Dian Nuswantoro Semarang, Dr. Retno Indah Ernawati, honored panelist Dr. Fitra Roman from ESSEC, UK, Dr. Eni Susilawati Marjono from Universitas Dian Nuswantoro Indonesia, Semarang, Indonesia, and Dr. Siti Zakiah Timlatu Samsi from Multimedia University, Malacca, Malaysia. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and future leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, it is a privilege to address you all today in this webinar on research opportunities in sustainability accounting. These topics brings together two important fields, accounting and sustainability. Sustainability accounting goes beyond traditional financial reporting. It captures the environment, social, and governance impacts of an organization, helping companies make decisions that are both responsible and financially sound. Today's challenges, such as climate change, environmental degradation, and social inequality, demand new approach not only from the accounting profession, but also from academics who dedicate their lives to studying and teaching accounting. Accounting plays a critical role in providing reliable, transparent data that guide businesses towards better practices. This field allows us to develop frameworks that show the true costs and benefits of sustainable action and enable organization to assess not only their profits but also their impact on society and the environment. Research in sustainability accounting opens important opportunities to examine how companies or organizations can integrate sustainability goals within their core strategies. By studying how business align their financial and non-financial performance metric with sustainability initiatives, we can reveal insights that support responsible business decision. In fact, through research, we can even identify the economic benefits of sustainable operation, making a clear case that sustainability and profitability can go hand in hand. Research is also vital for understanding how accounting practices need to evolve across industries. For instance, manufacturing industries face a specific sustainability challenges related to resources consumption, while technology sectors may need metrics for innovation-driven sustainability. By tailoring accounting frameworks to fit these diverse sectors through rigorous research, we can help each industry make more informed, sustainable choices. In particular, research opportunities in sustainability accounting encourage exploration of how sustainability can be woven directly into corporate strategy. By examining how business set and measure ESG goals within their financial and operational framework, we can provide insights that promote responsible growth while recognizing the financial benefits of sustainable practices. Moreover, as academics, we have a critical responsibility not only to contribute the accounting provision, but also the pioneer innovative solution for sustainable accounting practices itself. Our knowledge and research can guide organizations towards implementing effective strategies that address both their financial and environmental obligation. Ladies and gentlemen, as we move forward, let us consider several key pathways and sustainability accounting that will help us support these goals, including first one, developing standardized frameworks for ESG reporting, which will allow for consistent and comparable data. Second one, innovating ways to capture true environmental and social costs of operation. Third, enhancing education and skills in sustainability accounting to equip future accountants with the necessary expertise. The fourth one, promoting global cooperation to create universal accounting standards that ensure accountability and transparency. These areas where research in accounting can make a unique and lasting impact, providing organization with the tools to track their sustainability efforts accurately and responsibly. Ladies and gentlemen, as we close, let us remember that the journey in sustainable accounting is not just about numbers. It is about measuring what truly matters. By advancing research in this field, we can help businesses understand how their action impact not only their financial bottom line, but also the broader social and environmental landscape. Each of us plays a role in translating these insights into practical tools and framework that will guide companies towards more sustainable practices. I encourage each of you to absorb the insight shared by our esteemed panelists and speakers today, considering how you can apply these lessons in your own work and research. I hope today's webinar will inspire fresh ideas and strengthen our shared commitment to advancing accounting practices that reflect the needs of sustainable future. Collaboration between Udinus, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro with APSAI, and other institutions is essential to drive progress, setting a foundation for a new era in accounting that is both transparent and responsible. Together, let us ensure that our work in sustainability accounting leads to real positive changes in the business world and beyond. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Professor, for the insightful speech. Before moving to the next step, I would like to welcome our participants from APSAI Indonesia, the United Kingdom and Malaysia, and also to participants who joined through live streaming on YouTube channel TVKU. Good afternoon to you all. Thanks for your time and participations. Here I share important information for participants. The first is, participants must put their name and institution in the screen. Second, webinar materials can be downloaded on Google Drive on a link that will be shared in the chat box. And the third, certificates will be given after writing down the attendance list provided in the chat box at the end of the event and sent via email. Ladies and gentlemen, it would be great to have a group photo in the webinar, so please switch on your camera and give us your best smile. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, next. 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 Okay, it's finished. Participants, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving to our main agenda, the international webinar. As I informed that we have three great speakers, Fitra Roman Cahaya BCom, MCom, PhD, CSRS plus, CSRA, FHA, Eni Susilawati Marjono, MSc, AKT, PhD, CA, CFMA, ASEAN CPA, and Dr. Siti Zakiah binti Melatu Samsi. Before we start the webinar, I would like to welcome them. Dr. Roman, Dr. Eni, and Dr. Siti. Welcome to our webinar, and it's an honor for us to have you in this event. Dear speakers, I will be the moderator of the presentation, and each of you will have 30 minutes to share the insight. Let us invite our first speaker, Dr. Fitra Roman Cahaya. Okay. For the introduction, I would like to read the brief CV of Dr. Roman. Let's see the screen. Okay, we can see the screen now, and we can read the CV of Dr. Fitra. Dr. Fitra Roman. Dr. Fitra Roman is a lecturer in accounting at ESSEC Business School, University of ESSEC. He is also a fellow of the UK Higher Education Academy. Dr. Fitra Roman completed his PhD accounting at Curtin University, Australia. And in the term of research, we can see that Dr. Fitra Roman examines some subset of sustainability reporting, such as anti-corruption reporting, occupational health and safety disclosure, labor-related sustainability reporting, and human rights in disclosure. In terms of publication, his scholarly work appears in referee journals such as Journal of Business Ethics, Accounting Educations, Journal of Accounting in Emerging Economies, and Sustainability Accounting, Management and Policy Journal. And he is also an editorial board member of several economy journals. That's the CV of our first speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, without further delay, let's welcome Dr. Fitra Roman. Sir, the screen is yours now.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon Indonesian time. Good morning UK time. It is now 7:37 a.m. here in the UK. Pleased to see you via Zoom online. I would like to thank Udinus for inviting me to contribute as one of the speakers in this prestigious webinar. Pleased to see Professor Abdul Halim again. Several years ago, I invited him when I worked in Indonesia, and glad that we can meet again. And also, I invited him maybe about 10 years ago. I invited Professor Abdul Halim to examine my colleague to examine his PhD thesis.
Mr. Johan?
He did. Yes, yes. Glad to see you again, because my supervisor at the time asked me to to search any potential examiner for my colleague. Pleased to see officials from from Udinus, fellow speakers, Dr. Eni especially, who contacted me. My wonderful webinar participants, colleagues in Indonesia and Malaysia, as well as students joining the webinar. I would like to share my screen. Actually, I will fly to Indonesia tomorrow. I will be delivering a keynote speech as well in Makassar on Thursday. I will be in Indonesia for about five nights, and I have to go back to the UK for teaching in the week after next week. All right, let me share my screen. Okay, can you see my slide? Okay.
Yes, sir. I can see it clearly.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you for confirming. Yeah. So I will share my views on some research opportunities in sustainability accounting. And I hope that these topics, if you are interested in examining on those topics, like Professor Abdul Halim said, at the end after you examine or do research on these particular topics, we hope that there will be impacts on practitioners, on businesses, and on organizations operations, which finally can contribute in saving our planet. Right. This is the outline that I would like to address today. So I will start by giving some reflection about why do we need to identify research opportunities in this area. And then I will move to the main topics of my presentation, which is potential topic for sustainability accounting research. And then I will show you some top journals and the reason for looking at this particular outlets. And then I will show you the resources that we can utilize, particularly in our current digital era. And then I will finish with the conclusion. Right. Let's do some reflection, particularly those are working as academics, because you are more senior, of course, than your students. Why do we, as accounting scholars, need to identify research opportunities in sustainability accounting? Let's before trying to address that question, let's see the current facts in sustainability reporting practices. About 14 years ago, 20 years ago, when I did my master's, when I did my PhD, my thesis in my master's and PhD were all about subset of, we call it at that time, corporate social responsibility. All right. One of my colleagues, when I started my PhD in 2009, came to me and told me that your topic is only for research, right? That's not practical at all. He said that. All right. At that time, perhaps because he was more senior, I did not, give any comments. But now, 2024, even it has already been highlighted by Professor Abdul Halim, this topic is extremely important and practical. So we hope that there are impacts. Why? Because it is clear from my slide here that the development is fantastic, right? The development in this area is fantastic in terms of what? In terms of practices. Let's see. From the result of KPMG survey, for instance, from published in 2022, the sample is N100 and G250 companies. We can see there has been a significant increase in the number of companies providing sustainability reports, right? From 1993 to 2022, significant increase, I would say, right? And even if you may be aware, the development of Global Reporting Initiative, previously we called these guidelines, but now we use the term standards. In accounting, standard means differently from guideline. It implies a stronger what should I call stronger meaning, because it can be defined as regulation as well if a company decides to adopt that. All right. And in accounting, we know that ISB has recently issued IFRS S1 and about and S2, basically general requirement for disclosure of sustainability related financial information, and also the formalization of SDGs. Okay, if we look at SDGs, the target is the goals should be achieved by 2030, which is not long to go from now. Okay, we have about 5-6 years to go. So it is now clear. We know that it is important because we are in the era of that. Okay, that's the fact. Now, let's reflect ourselves as accounting academics. Okay, what is our motivation if we try to identify research opportunities in this particular area? Is it because passion or research interest? This is one of my main reasons, because I have been exploring this aspect since 2006 when I did my master's, when I prepared my thesis, and then my PhD was also in this area. So I would argue that this is my research interest, this is my passion. And in fact, most of my publications are in this area. Or because response to pressures, publication pressures in Indonesia, you use Scopus. You are pressured to publish in Scopus rather than national journals, for instance. Or because of promotions, you want to be promoted because you published in this area, to be, for example, to be a professor. Or because of trend, your colleagues published in this area, and then you see that, and you are then you then feel like being pressed by this kind of trend. Or you feel that you need to contribute to this particular agenda, sustainability agenda, or commitment to make impact on policy and practices. I believe choosing or believing one of the motivations will impact on your enthusiasm in choosing what your specific topics that you are going, or you are willing, or you want to examine. Right? This is just a reflection to challenge you, basically, to then explore some specific topics that you are going to examine, perhaps with your colleagues, with your students, and so on. Now, I would like to move to some potential topics after I give you some reflections about ourselves, basically. Okay, right. I think there are a number of different possible topics that you can explore, that you can identify, that you can examine, particularly in the current digital era. I will keep using those words because Dr. Annie initially planned to have the words digital era in the topic of the webinar. Okay, and I said that I think better to delete it, but we will include the discussion of technology, because in my view, okay, currently, especially after the pandemic, technology, digitalization is part of our life in our daily activities. For example, in the UK or even Indonesia, we use a mobile phone application for most of the activities. Parking in the UK, I use mobile application, for example, and so on. Okay. Now, the use of the technology, yes, we can explore that. The impacts of the technology in accounting generally or specifically in sustainability reporting. Okay. In accountability, the impact on assurance. Remember, talking about reporting, we will also be talking about the assurance of the reporting. Like in financial accounting, we have financial statement, we have auditing. We can look at blockchain, AI, particularly here, even in our webinar, I received a notification from Zoom that there will be AI used in this forum to help providing the transcript, if I'm not mistaken. Blockchain, one of my students 2 years ago also examined the impact of blockchain in sustainability reporting as a response to the regulation in Europe, right? How organizations address impacts of natural disasters as well. This can also be examined, particularly for NGO. Even for companies, we can also examine how companies address and report their plan to mitigate this risk. Role of sustainability reporting in circular economy, where we utilize resources that we have. Sellers are from our community, for example. The producers, raw materials are also from our neighborhood, for instance, and so on. Impacts of new regulations on sustainability reporting and assurance, particularly in the last 10 years, after the launch of SDGs. A number of initiatives, new regulations around the globe were also launched in order to support the effort to achieve SDGs. From the aspect of managerial accounting, we can also look at how a company set up performance measurements in sustainability activities, like Professor Abdul Halim said. So in this case, we can contribute in examining the performance measurement of it. Can be done in the private sector, and also can be done in the public sector as well. Again, in relation to our current digital era, we can also look at impact on social media, on sustainability reporting, and stakeholders, relationship among corporate governance, financial performance, sustainability reporting. I think will still be in debate, because there is still always, potential connection among them. And then differences or gaps between sustainability reporting and actual sustainability performance. We call it as the coupling, when there is a gap between what has been reported and what has been performed. One of the papers that you can look at is a paper written by Gal et al., if I'm not mistaken. It is published in Journal of Business Ethics. And again, assurance is very, very important to be examined. And you need to be aware about the differentiation in terms of the terminology. For example, I examine subset of sustainability reporting. You can also examine, now we also know the term of ESG, which include governance aspect in the reporting and performance. Okay. CSR is definitely used in this area SDG as well, because we have 17 SDGs and so on. But my suggestion is that if you want to try to identify yourself the topics, you can look at a specific area of it, like anti-corruption reporting, for example. I published in Journal of Business Ethics with colleagues, with my colleague from Malaysia. And also, for example, studies about disclosure on how companies address climate change. Okay, this is like what is happening in Australia at the moment, because in Australia now companies are legally required to disclose how they address climate change. Okay. There are a number of new articles, which try to review literature in the area and also recommend some possible interesting topics. This is one of the examples written by Xiao de Villiers et al. So basically, Professor Charles de Villiers, if you know him, one of the most outstanding sustainability accounting researchers from New Zealand, Auckland University, if I'm not mistaken, he's still there, and he's also the editor-in-chief of Military Accountancy Research. They have already highlighted some possible important topics. For example, social accounting practices or sustainability practices in relation to management systems, budgeting, performance measurement, assurance, and so on. And how accounting for social and environmental aspects are integrated with economic imperatives in practice, and how this influences internal process and reporting practices. How basically accounting itself functions in companies integrate all of the sustainability activities in terms of planning, budgeting, execution or activities, and then evaluation, and then reporting. Right? And also, one of the topics can be seen here is how management systems that support sustainable development or sustainability activities can be developed and what they consist of. Okay. Right. Another possible topic is assessment of the quality of sustainability accounting practices. Again, talking about reporting, we are not only dealing with the extent or the level or the quantity, how much information is disclosed by a company, for instance, but we also need to examine how well a company discloses the information. Is it transparent? Are there any data that a company provides that we can also examine, analyze in order to make decisions, and so on. Another possible topic is there any real impacts on accountability and legitimacy from sustainability accounting? Okay. Now, in terms of research settings, we can look at, based on the recommendation from this paper, we can also look at regions outside USA, Australia, China, UK, and Italy. Basically, this is because too many studies have been published in these research settings. So Indonesia is quite interesting. Southeast Asia, in my view, is very interesting because this region is very, very important in the world economy. And the location is, I think, very good between Australia and Europe, and also America as well. Organizational context is also interesting to be explored more, which is, whether it is public sectors, NGO. I'm sure that there are a lot of NGOs or not-for-profit organizations in Indonesia, Islamic organizations, for instance, and there are a number of sustainability activities as well in those organizations. So this kind of practices are very important, I think, to be explored, and that will show the uniqueness of, activities in the context of Indonesia particularly. Right? All right, so I still have like perhaps 7 minutes. Other potential topics maybe more social aspects like inclusivity, diversity, gender, which can incorporate in the research. For example, how a company addresses this kind of issue, and how the company reported, and how the company measured the performance, and so on. And we can also look at some specific topics of SDGs, not all, but perhaps something which is interesting for you. Climate action, for instance, life below water if you are interested in blue economy, reduced inequalities, and so on. Now, I think it is also important to look at top journals publishing sustainability accounting research, because a review of prior studies published in top journals will help us identify quality research gaps. So we are here in Essex. We urge our PhD students particularly to look at top journals. We use ABS ranking in the UK. We ask them to look at least 3-star journal. For example, Accounting Forum, British Accounting Review, CPA, AAAJ, in order to what? In order to identify what we call quality research gaps. All right? Quality research gap. A research gap which is considered very, very unique. And if students attempt to address that, the contribution, we believe, would be significant, because that's the main thing in a PhD study, right? So we have a list of 3-star, 4-star journal. We believe that the review process in those journals is very, very strict, and there are big percentage of test rejection in those journals, and have the experience as well to be test rejected. So we believe that the contribution here is very, very significant, and this will help us to identify what we call quality research gap. Okay. Now, again, this is connected to our digital era, resources which can support sustainability accounting research. Okay. I will move to qualitative research first. We know that we can now use Zoom. Even in our forum now, we use Zoom. I do not need to travel to Semarang, even though I really want to travel there. Okay. But to save time, to save money, we can use this particularly for interviewing people. Okay. I give you a reference here, very good reference from Professor Charles de Villiers. We can use this reference in order to justify, to help us define the research method if we plan to use Zoom interviews in our research. And importantly, if we want to publish the research, we have to have such a strong literature to support our research method design. So this is very recommended. However, of course, there are challenges associated with this technique. Okay, for example, not every audience is willing to be interviewed using Zoom. If you interview top managers like members of board of directors, perhaps they prefer to be interviewed using Zoom because it will be efficient for them, right? For example, next week I will interview some directors in Indonesia. We will use Zoom. They are happy. I will be happy as well, because we do not need to meet in person in a certain place in Jakarta. Okay, they are busy. I'm busy. However, I'm sorry, I used the word grassroots people or vulnerable people. I have an experience of asking them, what do you prefer? Do you want to be interviewed using Zoom or in person like this? They want to be interviewed in person. Why? Because there is a kind of interaction. Okay, and according to some research result and also some scholars, particularly in the in research method book, gesture itself, how we move, expression, okay, will have implication on the answer of the question if we do qualitative research. For example, if you look at my face, I can give some reaction that you can then try to divine what it means. Smiling, anger, okay, my gesture, my hands, okay. Perhaps there are some meanings from my gesture. If I do not, if I hit something, okay, maybe my face will be like this, okay, my hand will be like that, and so on. Okay, so there is a limitation, but you can read this article how to address that. Okay, perhaps I still have 2 minutes. For quantitative data, we now have databases such as Bloomberg, as Aiken. Now we use the name Refinitiv Aiken as a replacement of Asset 4. We have ESG data there. Therefore, a lot of papers now examine ESG simply because the data are available there. And I provide you this paper. I will share the file after this. I apologize, I could not send this file yesterday, but I will send this to you after this webinar. You can use this paper in order to design the research method, to justify and put that in your paper. Okay. In conclusion, if you look at my previous slides, there are exciting topics ahead, exciting topics for research in this particular area, from the aspect of reporting, assurance, managerial accounting. Remember, in accounting, we have financial accounting, which is basically reporting. On the other hand, we have also managerial accounting dealing with performance measurement, budgeting, and how then we evaluate the activities in order to improve. And we all know that these days technologies are available, even though they have limitations, but at least we can get the benefits. For example, collecting data from databases like Bloomberg, Aiken, and also we can interview people, communicate using Zoom. But we need to anticipate and address the challenge in order to best provide the best design the research method, so that we can best get the answer to our research question as well. Lastly, researchers need to carefully think about the contributions and the impact of research on the chosen topics. Again, I hope that we are all agreed that at the end, this is not about publication itself. This is not about we as academics are promoted to a more senior level in our academic career, but let's think about whether our research will have impacts or make a difference on this world in order to save people and our planet. So thank you very much for listening. I would be more than happy to address questions later in the question and answer session. I will stop sharing. Thank you very much.
Now, thank you, Dr. Fitra Roman, for your excellent presentations. And now let us
You're welcome.
Okay. And now let us proceed to our next speaker. Dr. Annie, are you ready, ma'am?
Yes, I'm
Okay,
ready.
Yes, let me first read her CV. CV, please. Okay, Dr. Annie is a senior lecturer in accounting at Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Nuswantoro. Currently, she serves as the head of master program in accounting UDINUS. She completed her PhD in accounting at National Yunlin University of Science and Technology, Taiwan. In terms of research, Dr. Annie examines some subset of strategic business, management accounting, stock market, finance, and audit. And in the term of publication, her scholarly work appears in referee journals such as Earning Management and Audit Committee, International Journal of Business and Society, Competition and Professional Service Organizations, Sustainability Journal, and many more. She has also contributed as an ad hoc reviewer for a number of recognized journals such as Jurnal Penelitian Ekonomi dan Bisnis and International Journal of Business Society. Well, I suppose that's the CV of our second speaker. Now, Dr. Annie, you can deliver your presentation and the screen is yours.
Okay. Mas Torik, can you help me to slideshow my PPT? Yeah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Julie, for the time given to me to provide insight into opportunity research in sustainability accounting. And before I begin my presentation, I would like to welcome and thank you first to Dr. Fitra Roman from the University of Essex, UK, and Dr. Siti Zakiah from MMU Malaysia, and also Prof. Abdul Halim from APSAI, who have been willing to attend this international webinar and collaborate with UDINUS in this afternoon. And also welcome all international webinar participants from 3 countries, UK, Malaysia, Indonesia. The topic I took this afternoon was about earning management, sustainability, and fraud, understanding their impact on corporate sustainability. This topic is quite interesting because it is a hot topic regarding the relationship between accounting practices related to fraud and earning management that can affect the sustainability of the company. How about earning management in the short term and fraud can affect the company's sustainability reporting? And as we know, sustainability is oriented towards long-term company performance. So in this afternoon, I want to disclosure overall about this topic. Okay, let's go straight to the outline that I will discuss today. The first, I will explain what is the interesting discussion. Okay, the first, the key point for the material is the first I want to disclosure about increases focus on sustainability and ethic in business, and then importance of governance to prevent earning management and fraud. Explain the concept of earning management and sustainability, and then describe the relationship between fraud and corporate sustainability. Next slide. Okay, I will explain about what is the concept of earning management. The definition of earning management practices carried out by management to achieve certain profit targets. And the type of earning management is accrual manipulation, real activity manipulation, and what is the motivation or earning management, the motivation of earning management is financial incentive, and then market pressure and management objective. Okay, next slide. Okay, I would like to explain the concept of sustainability in companies. The definition of sustainability, as we know, a company commitment to achieving economic, social, and environmental balance. And the dimension of sustainability, as we know, environmental, social, and governance, or ESG. And then, if we talk about sustainability, sustainability always disclosure about role in long-term business sustainability. Next. Okay, if we talk about the relationship between earning management and sustainability, we can have the three focus. The first is earning management reduce transparency and accountability. And then the second, long-term impact on stakeholder trust. And the third, from the case study, companies with high ESG scores tend to reduce earning management practices. The relationship between earning management and sustainability, I will talk about commitment to transparency and corporate governance. Sustainability is often associated with good governance practices, including transparency, business ethics, and social responsibility. Conversely, earning management can be seen as undermining this principle, as it creates less than accurate picture of the company's health. So, earning management reduce transparency and accountability. And companies that are serious about sustainability tend to avoid earning management practices, as they focus more on transparency and business continuity than short-term result. Okay, for the long-term impact on the stakeholder, if we talk about financial statement management for the short-term vs the long-term, earning management is often done to achieve short-term financial target, such as increasing revenue or net income in a certain period. This can be done through accrual manipulation or delaying revenue recognition. On the other hand, corporate sustainability is about the long-term sustainability of the business, both financially, socially, and environmentally. Earning management practices focusing on the short term can endanger the company's long-term goals because they ignore risk or negative impact on operation, reputation, and investor confidence. This will reduce the level of investor trust in the company financial statement. When we talk about case study, companies with high ESG scores tend to reduce earning management practice. Sustainability reporting and earning management, many companies are now starting to prepare sustainability report as part of their annual reports, which include ESG, environment, social, governance aspect. Earning management can affect the quality of this reporting if the information presented is inaccurate, thus creating serious reputational risk. Companies that implement sustainability report with transparency and good governance will reduce earning management practice. Okay, next slide. Okay. This is an interesting topic for this slide, the governance for fraud prevention and earning management. How governance for fraud prevention and earning management. We can see the important thing in the good corporate governance about independent board of director, audit committee, and internal audit. And then for the stakeholder oversight, such as institutional ownership, a strict regulation. It is a very important tool for the good corporate governance. Next. Next. Okay, if we ask the negative impact of earning management and fraud on company sustainability, I have two big point for this: the impact of earning management and fraud on company sustainability. There is a financial and reputational loss of investor trust, and then long-term impact, loss of competitiveness, potential bankrupt. Okay, next. Okay, this very important for this slide. Strategy to improve sustainability through prevention of earning management and fraud. I choose a 3 point in here. There is a development of good governance, increase transparency and accountability. And then the second, implementation of CSR program and ESG reporting. And then the third is increased training and ethic awareness for employers. Next. Okay, why is sustainability important? Sustainability is important because to reduce negative impact on the environment, community, and society. Two broad categories: environment effect, society effect. The goal is to impact at least one of those areas positively. Investors also consider ESG, environmental, social, and governance as performance indicator. Next. Okay, this is the triple bottom line of sustainability. You can see in this slide. There is a environment performance issue, and then social performance issue, and then economic performance issue. Okay, next. Okay, in this slide, I try to show to the all participants in here what is the future research that must be done. I conclude in 5 categories. The first is accounting forensic and fraud. This is still the interesting topic that we must take for the next research. And then gender equality and financial teach, and then digital business and sustainability, and then platform economy and environment, and platform economy and creative accounting. Next. Okay, if we want to have the publication, the good publication, we must pay attention paper quality. So in this slide, I want to try explain how we get the paper quality. And the first, we must see the current issue and interesting or hot topic, and then the substance, we must pay attention about novelty, methodology, and then we must pay attention the art of writing and presenting result and discussion, specifically supporting instrument. Next. Okay, this is how we can finding the hot topic and the research gaps. The first, we must disclosure or paper systematic literature review, and then the second, we must see the paper general review, and the third, we see the call for paper for special issue international reputable journal, and the fourth, we try to create a metric or synthesis, and then finally, please read future suggestion in the research conclusion section. Okay, maybe I will try to give you the example about publication in my journal in Q1 and Q3. Next slide. Okay, this is my journal that published in the MAJ. This is the reputable journal SSCI Q1 with title MAS Alien and Performance and Evidence of Shock Effect. I mean, if we want to search the reputable journal, we must see the general review. We can see the the purpose of the research, and then design methodology approach, and then what is the finding of the research, and then what is the practical implication. So you can see in this slide, I tried to show the reputable journal from SSGI Q1 MIG. And then next. Okay, this is my published journal in International Journal Business and Society. This is Q3 with title Earning Management and the Effect Characteristic of Audit Committee Independent Commissioner Evident from Indonesia. From this slide, we can see we can try to explain disclosure, the general review. From this abstract, we can see that we can explain based on the positive accounting theory, the efficient perspective will occur when the compensation contract and internal control system, including monitoring done by the board commissioner, limit the common view opportunistic manager and motivate the manager to choose the right accounting policy. In this journal, I disclosed that the effective monitoring conducted by an independent commissioner can reduce agency costs because management prioritizes the best interest of shareholder by maximizing company resource. Furthermore, it was found that audit committee size can reduce earning management. It is due to the wide range of skill possessed by audit committee members to exercise oversight over management, and audit committee with accounting and financial expertise can reduce earning management. This part of finding indicate that audit committee may lend to uphold conservative as accounting mechanism. Okay, next slide. Okay, from still the same journal, we can try to read future suggestion in the research conclusion section. I try to give the mark, yellow mark. You can see in the slide, the efficient perspective can occur when the compensation contract and internal control system minimize contract cost and capital cost. This study proved that the monitoring conducted by independent commissioner can reduce earning management and restrict opportunistic management behavior. And then independent commissioner, audit committee size, and audit committee expertise saw the effective reduction of corporate governance practices in earning management. The regulation stipulates that an audit committee consists of at least one independent commissioner and 2 other members from outside the issuer or the side public company. And you can see in the last paragraph, there is a disclosure about from the perspective of the efficient management, audit committee with expertise in accounting and finance can better reduce opportunistic earning management. Okay, next slide. Okay, this is my another journal, Q1, Business Manager and Accounting. The name of journal is Managerial Auditing Journal. From this journal, I show the example how we try to find the future suggestion in the research conclusion section. Okay, next slide. Okay, from this journal, we can see practical implication and future study. Now, from this journal, I try to give the yellow marks in here. The international firms share abundant resource, including professional auditing techniques and expertise, human resource development, and continuing professional education. And then the next paragraph, further profitable audit firm reinvest more resource to advance their service quality to create a brand name reputation, and they make this investment through a free premium to have profitable result of strategic alliance and to expand business into the lucrative management advisory service area. Auditor are suggested to take firm size into account. Okay, next slide. Okay, the conclusion for my topic today is overall earning management practice that are carried out without considering the long-term impact can be contrary to the principle of sustainability. And then to build a sustainability company, transparency and good governance are essential, which means earning management practice must be minimized or avoided. And then aggressive earning management can lead to fraudulent practices. Okay, next. I have the book that the topic SDGs about SDGs sustainability. If you want to read this book, you can download a link that I show in this slide. This is about the book. The book is the title is Indonesian Emas Berkelanjutan 2045, kumpulan pemikiran pelajar-pelajar seluruh Indonesia. This book collaboration with BRIN and LIPI and PPI Dunia. When I was studied in doctoral, I joined in PPI Dunia and collaboration with LIPI for create this book. Okay, next. Okay, thank you for the time, and I think if you want connect with us, you can contact me via email or the LinkedIn, yeah, or maybe you can email to Udinus or email to my social media. Okay, thank you very much. Mrs. Julie, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Annie, for the insightful presentations. And finally, please welcome our last speaker, Dr. Siti. Firstly, I would like to read the brief CV of Dr. Siti. Let's see the screen. Okay, Dr. Siti is an assistant professor in Digital Business Management Department, Faculty of Business, MMU Malacca Campus. Currently, she serves as the Dean of the Faculty. Dr. Siti holds a PhD in Information from the University Technology Malaysia or UTM. In terms of research, her research works are published in index journal, conference, proceeding, and book chapters. In view of her research contribution, Dr. Siti is appointed as the research fellow at the Shinawatra University, Thailand. And in the term of awards, Dr. Siti has won numerous innovation awards locally and internationally, including the Best Mentor Award finalist 2018, the Most Entrepreneurial Staff Award 2019, and one of the finalists for the President Award or in individual category in 2018. That's awesome. And that's the CV of our third speaker. And now, Dr. Siti, you can deliver your presentation and the screen is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Julie Ratnawati, our MC today. Professor Abdul Halim, Dr. Fitra Roman Cahaya, Dr. Annie Susilawati, distinguished guests, students, ladies and gentlemen from all over the world today. I saw it is 500 participants. Congratulations to the host. Congratulations to Udinus for having this such a big event. I am really honored to be here, to be with everybody here from wherever you are in UK, in Malaysia, in Indonesia, and also other countries. Hope that everybody is in a very good health today. Okay, so allow me to share my presentation. So while Prof. Abdul Halim mentioned about sustainability and also accounting, I will add one more perspective into this discussion, which is digitalization. So my title today is Future Proofing Accounting, Integrating Digitalization and Sustainability. So this will be my presentation outline. I'll talk a little bit about evolution in accounting profession, digitalization in accounting, sustainability and sustainability in accounting, digitalization and sustainability in accounting, and also the conclusion. So basically, when we look at the accounting profession, I know majority of you might be in accounting profession. So if you look at whatever the current revolution in technology, so accounting profession also affected. It's driven by technological advancement, shifting in business landscapes, changes or evolution in the regulatory requirements. Accounting profession also facing these changes, have to embrace this. Therefore, you have to adapt and develop new skills to remain relevant. So what does it mean by future-proofing accounting profession? So the ability to adapt to make sure that this profession stay relevant and still efficient, effective, in the middle of all the changes in the world, either in terms of technology, in terms of economic, as well as environment. Okay, let's talk about digitalization in accounting. So when we talk, I'm in the Faculty of Business. We have about 500 students taking accounting undergraduate program, bachelor degree about 400 students, diploma about 100 plus students. Basically when we talk to the accounting students, they start saying that, oh, I'm not an IT person. Okay, I'm accounting person. My job is more on calculations, preparing accounting reports and so on. But embracing the technological landscape in the world, especially after COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of things actually shift to automation. So where a lot of transactional tasks and also repetitive or time-consuming tasks replaced by automations. Data can be recorded automatically. Data can be reported automatically through technology using automation. And what happened in accounting profession when people said that, oh, okay, now technology has transformed everything. We don't need accountants. People said that, no, it is not. What we need to do is we have to shift to higher value tasks and activities. Higher value tasks, accountants are no longer doing transactionals or all the tedious, repetitive, time-consuming tasks, but accountants should shift to advisory, shift to strategic decision making, shift to analysis related tasks based on the data. So, accountants need to develop technical skills and revisit current accounting processes, learn how to manage the digital tools. Okay, what else? Artificial intelligence. I just want to talk about these two types of artificial intelligence or AI, generative AI and predictive AI. Actually, there are many AIs that is available, but as a start, let us understand these two AIs first. Everybody knows ChatGPT, Copilot, and so on. So generative AI basically using multiple data coming from different sources or large data sets from different sources, internet and so on, with the objective to create new content. That's why you can ask Copilot, write for me my thesis. Write for me the objective of my research, something like that. The AI is actually generating new content from the knowledge or from the data that derive from the multiple sources or collections of documents, collection of course. It can also be used for report productions. So we understand that accountants, we are talking a lot about financial reporting and so on. So in the near future, you may have to produce more reports related to sustainability, related to performances, related to strategies and so on. It can also produce content or what we call conversational contents, conversational finance. Okay, some companies, for example, they develop or establish their own internal generative AI platform for the staff to get some help, as if having a mentor. For example, guide me on how can I write this document, or maybe this report, or meeting minutes based on our company format. So if they develop internally in the organization, so the staff will be able to have this conversational to so-called AI's mentor. It can be in the form of chatbots, also conversational type, and also virtual assistants. So you can communicate and talk to generative AI, and this generative AI will respond to you like a normal conversation from one person to another person. And that is generative AI. I don't want to touch on the ethics part because there are a lot of discussions about that. But let's understand the technology first and how it is applicable to our area. The second AI is predictive AI. So this predictive AI using advanced algorithm, data mining and machine learning to analyze historical data and predict future trends. Let's say you have data company reports from 1990 until 2020, or 10 years or 20 years reports and so on. So you want predictive AI to read and extract, not only extract, analyze, coming out with new insights. And these insights or these findings or these results will be reported, will be used, will be analyzed to predict future trend. So this is what we call predictive AI. Predictive AI is commonly being used in the area where people need to do a lot of decision making, and also understand the nature of the business, understand the nature of the company, and from multiple perspectives, marketing, sales, and so on. So for accounting professionals, you may need this in your advisory tasks. So in not only by producing the financial reports, but you also may need to look at this data and insights generated through predictive AI for you to advise your clients. Therefore, in this situation, accountants need to focus on continuous learning in AI and data analytics, embrace technology like AI tools, ensure data quality, and be mindful of ethical AI usage. Okay. Okay. This is just to visualize the difference between generative AI and predictive AI. So generative AI, supervised learning technique, create new content. And the keyword is creating new content. You can generate illustrations, you can generate reports, you can generate, even you can generate a song. You just give some points. I tested some AIs can help me in generating very interesting stories, poetry, a lot of things that can be generated. So from the perspective of accounting, you can see many companies actually have started using generative AI for their organization. While predictive AI, as I mentioned earlier, based on the historical data, producing report, recommendation, forecasting, trend, diagnosis, and so on. Okay. Okay, these are some of the usage of generative AI, historical data analysis, text preparation assistance, conversational finance, simplified bookkeeping, audit automation, reports preparation, and so on. So it is not AI replacing you or your role in your job, but AI, especially generative AI, can help you in becoming more efficient in producing your work, delivering your tasks, and so on. So I put some examples here. EY, for example, is using generative AI to answer complex payroll questions, especially for employees in remote locations. So instead of having meetings after meeting after meeting and so on to resolve employees' issues, especially in remote locations or in the location where very difficult to to get people connected, so they are using or they are having their internal generative AI platform. Or Delight launched dapat, virtual assistant for their audit and assurance professionals, which provide real-time guidelines. Sometimes when we talk to our boss or superior, boss, help me in producing this. I can't resolve this. This is too complicated and so on. So boss said that I have a meeting, a very long meeting. I can only talk to you tomorrow morning. But by having this that board, so Deloitte assume that or would like to make sure that the employees or the staff will be given real-time guideline whenever they need. PwC New Zealand, for example, also developed chat PwC for employee to ask task-based questions. So this is part of some efforts by accounting firms in adopting generative AI. So when we link this to research, for example, you can research from different perspectives. For example, adoption perspective, readiness perspective. You can also look at acceptance of the users or accountants in terms of digitalization, whether they are ready or not, they are aware or not of this, they are knowledgeable or not. You can address, you can put your research from that perspective too, if you want to do some research related to it. Data analytics, diving into financial and organizational data to understand trends and patterns to guide clients on strategic decisions. Okay, AI can also do that, but data analytics also can do that. It can be separated to two different technological platforms. For example, Power BI. If you are aware about Power BI by Microsoft, Power BI can help you to manage your data and coming out with very user-friendly visualization of data of your organization or your client's organization. So in this data analytics part, accountants may it be able to provide a very clear picture of their company's financial health, cost optimization, new growth opportunities identification. So what you need to do and learn is to understand about data analytics tool as well as interpreting large data into meaningful business insights. Microsoft Power BI, for example, is a very user-friendly, not so difficult for us to learn on how to use it or develop a visualization of data from the tool, from the platform. Or if other people using the tool, people from IT develop the data for you, it will be easier for you to visualize your data and also making decision based on the data. Okay, cyber security. Because we are using a lot of technologies, so it is very important for people in accounting to know and to understand about cybersecurity, also how to protect especially sensitive data, financial data, especially from cyber threats. So the understanding towards data encryption, user authentication, secure cloud services, data privacy issues. This is also part of governance, ESG. So by the awareness towards cybersecurity, you are actually fulfilling the governance part of ESG in sustainability. So you have to be knowledgeable in high secured accounting software, tools and cloud storage to protect clients' data, especially when there are so many free platforms available online. You have to ask yourself, if I use this platform to generate report for my client, is it safe or not? And from the research perspective, you can also talk to your respondent, ask them whether they are aware or not by using all these free platforms or free tools available on the net, it is safe for them. Or some firms, maybe they wanted to save money, okay, they ask the employee, or just use whatever free online. Then maybe the employees will upload documents, data and so on in that free platform without knowing that it is actually very dangerous in terms of protecting data sensitive data, especially related to the financial and so on. Okay. Okay, we have done basically part and parcel of digitalization. To talk about everything is actually will take forever. So let's see how digitalization can be linked to sustainability. I believe that everybody understands what sustainability is. Some quotes in sustainability: treating ourselves and our environment as if we are to live on this earth forever. So we have to make sure that this world is actually available not only for us now but also for our next generations. Balance between environment, economy and ethics, governance and ethics. Sustainability is the right thing to do, smart thing to do, profitable thing to do. Talking about accounting, we normally look into financial profitability perspective. So sustainability aspect will be able to make sure that we will be able to sustain the profit forever. I give you a simple example. Today, 500 participants participating in this online webinar from multiple countries. Imagine that these 500 people spending flight ticket going to Semarang, how much it costs organizations. How much, or you come here to Malaysia, 500 participants, it is not sustainable financially at all. But by having the digital platform, we are able to make sure that more people benefits from our initiatives, more people will gain the knowledge, and more people can join from everywhere. And after this, I know that it will be available in YouTube and other digital platform, so more people will benefit from our discussions today. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, but we actually borrow it from our children. In one of the event that I joined a few months back, the speaker told me that actually, Zakia, we have to make sure that when we are no longer in this earth, in this world, our children, our grandchildren will have a better quality of life. Okay, if we earn A, they earn A and B. So we have to leave this world which is sustainable for them to stay. Okay. Next, we'll go to the sustainability in accounting. I know the previous speakers mentioning about financial reporting and so on. So sustainability accounting involves measuring, analyzing, reporting company social and environmental impacts alongside with its financial performance. If the focus of accounting before this only profit and loss, looking into financial aspect of organization, but talking about sustainability in accounting, we are now not only producing reports related to financial perspective, but we also have to produce reports or reporting the environment impacts or the initiatives that reduce the impact towards environment. So that involve gathering, assessing, disclosing non-financial data. So that is the keyword. When we talk about sustainability in accounting, we will be assessing and also reporting the non-financial aspect of an organization, non-financial aspect of your client's organization, especially about the company effect on the environment, on the society, and of course on the economy part. So the three pillars in sustainability accounting: environment, social, economic, known as the triple bottom line. Basically, Dr. Eni just now mentioned about triple bottom line, these three areas. Okay, it is a business concept that states firms should commit to measuring their social and environmental impact in addition to their financial performance rather than solely focusing on generating profit or the standard bottom line. So we have to measure social impact, we have to measure environmental impact, we have to produce report on the social, on what the company is doing to support the community. We have to produce report on what the company is doing to sustain the earth, the environment, to make sure that everything is sustainable. Everything in this world is sustainable, which is becomes a challenge in the accounting profession at the moment. Okay, I think in Malaysia, we are still learning on how to report net zero, for example. Everybody is coming out with different formula, different way, different types of reporting. It's still being discussed here and there, everywhere. Looking for the experts in sustainability is also still challenging, not easy. But we are in the era where we have to address all this. So it is a challenge when people say that because of digitalization, accounting has no job. No, not at all. Accountants have a lot of other things to do. Digitalization just expedite, or digitalization just help you to make sure that you become more efficient, becomes better in producing your report and delivering your job and tasks. Okay. So these are some of the impacts, or what digitalization or what sustainability accounting can be identified in ministries, because you, with digitalization, for example, data that you derive from multiple aspects, multiple perspectives, environment, social, community, and so on, economy, okay, will be able to give you additional perspective in terms of risk to the organization, and then attract investors and stakeholders. Many of the FDI coming into a country that focusing on sustainability. So based on your report that you produce, which company can easily get investments, get investors, which stocks can easily being sold, because your company, the company or your client's company really focus and very serious in terms of sustainability initiatives. Aligned with global sustainability goals, SDG 1, 2, 3, and so on. Alignment with these goals will be able to put your organizations or your clients' organizations into a better positions or alignment in the goal. Enhance transparency and accountability, not only in terms of financial, but in other things and in other parts that is very important to the world at the moment. We become more transparent, especially with the AIs and so on. Reports can be available at any time, can be actually generated at any time by many people out there. Support decision making, data analytics, generative AI, predictive AI, and so on will be able to support you, or to support you giving a better advice to your clients in terms of decision making, because you can see organization not only from profit and loss perspective, but it can be from other perspectives. measure on monitor sustainable or sustainability performances. So we will be able to measure, okay, this company, they are able to reduce, for example, the usage of electricity, energy, water, and so on. So what are their sustainability performance? So increase of like 20% as compared to last year. If last year they were only using, they spend like 100,000 for electricity or energy, maybe this year, because of certain initiatives related to environment that is calculated properly, monitored properly, they were able to reduce the cost of energy to 20%, which lead to the more profitability and so on. Companies that using solar panel, for example, you can report how much actually they can save from that initiative. Maybe initial cost is high, but long-term saving will be also high, but in long term, not in the short term. So you can come out with a lot of perspectives, insights, guidance, reports, and so many things, which is actually very, very interesting. So digitalization and sustainable accounting, what digitalization can do, more proactive in addressing potential issues, because reports can be generated faster, in a better visualization, and reports, actually data coming from multiple perspectives, data coming from multiple text documents, sources, and so on, easily compiled and reproduced as a report. So addressing potential issues, especially related to risk, can be easily done earlier. Enhance decision making, I mentioned about it. Once you have the data, once you can coming out with trends, you can easily make a decision, or your clients can be easily making decisions. You can easily show them, okay, if you invest in this, this is what you get in 3 years, in 5 years, and so on. Cost and resource efficiency. um, I give example just now. Installation of solar panel, for example, will reduce cost of energy in the company. Improve accessibility and transparency. So reports, data, guidance will be more accessible to the staff and more accessible to the clients, to the public, more transparent. Enhance data accuracy and consistency, because these digital platforms enable you to manage all this data in an efficient manner, so it will enhance accuracy and also consistency in terms of producing reports and so on. Automated data collection and reporting, I've mentioned earlier, a lot of transactional tasks, day-to-day tasks, routine tasks, checking financial record and so on, can be easily automated by digital platforms or digital tools, where it will help you to be more efficient and effective in your job delivery. And as a conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, participants, I would like that embracing digitalization is part and parcel, very important in sustainability practices. Okay, therefore, what need to be done by people in accounting professions? Continuous learning and professional development. You cannot stop learning. Although you feel like, oh, I'm not a digital person, I'm not an IT person, I'm an accountant, I deal with numbers, I deal with reports and so on. Let IT do IT part. No, we have to bridge these two worlds together. Okay, people in digital and IT with people in business and accounting, management, finance, bridge them and make sure that they can talk to each other, understand each other. Otherwise, it will be more challenging for us to to make sure that we enjoy all these benefits of the digitalization, especially in terms of sustainability and so on in accounting. Adopting advanced technologies. So firms, accounting practitioners, this is your time to start adopting, use the advanced technologies for your work, but of course with ethical guidelines. You know what I mean. Integrating sustainability metrics, look at ESG reporting that covers different aspects, environment, social, and also governance. Look at the SDG goals, see how can this be incorporated into the financial report, for example, not financial report, like accounting reports. So it will give better insights of the financial reporting or organizations reporting, to not only for the organization itself but also for the stakeholders, and so on, and relevant people. Implement sustainable practices and cross-functional collaboration. Sustainable practices like reducing papers, reduce waste, reduce energy, replace technology, replace things that is very manual, or task intensive transactional intensive tasks to automation and so on. So it will give it will drive the organization to different level in terms of sustainability. And definitely cross-functional collaboration. Accountant, you cannot stay alone. You cannot say that I'm an accountant, I my work is more towards all this data only, I don't talk to people. uh, in order for you to learn and in order for you to enjoy the benefits of digitalization, you have to mingle with people that who are experts in digital and so on, so that they can teach you, you can teach them, you can talk to each other, they can provide you develop platform that meet your need, and finally you can also enjoy the benefits of digitalizations for sustainability in accounting. So if we would like to link to the research, link back to the theme of this webinar, basically you can address from adoption. Um, for example, you how good or how much actually what is the accounting professionals perspective towards digitalization in organization, because I know some people have very negative perspective towards digital in accounting profession. You can also see how quickly they adopt to this technology. For example, generative AI, operative AI in decision making, in producing report and so on. How many firms would like to put some efforts in terms of technology or financial, or would like to support, how many companies would like to support technology adoption in their firms. That is also something that you can explore in your research. You can also look at the awareness of the people that related to accounting professions on the changes or the shift in accounting field. When accountant shift from traditional accounting approaches to digital or technological accounting approaches. So these are the areas that you can address if you are interested to explore or to do some research related to digitalizations or technology related to accounting. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be part of this webinar. I'm so happy. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Siti, for your informative presentations. And thank you to all our speakers for the excellent presentation. We will now open the floor for the Q&A sessions. Participants, please raise your hand or use the chat box to submit your question. or you can directly pose your question to the speakers, and kindly mention your name and affiliation before asking. But I suppose that on the chat box, there are already several questions. Okay, I will read one by one. Okay, the first question goes to Mr. Fitra Roman from Dian Aziza. Mr. Roman, could you please explain how to measure the assurance variable for the sustainability disclosure? Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very good question. Yeah. In order to address your question, firstly, as an assurer, we need to understand the standard used, the scope of the assurance done by the assurer, and also the standard used by a company to disclose sustainability information. For instance, GRI, Global Reporting Initiative. At the moment, I'm involved in a team evaluating and giving score to companies in relation to how they disclose sustainability information and the quality of the information. So if you ask about indicators, firstly, we need to look at the scope of the assurance. What does that mean? I will use more general language in order to explain so that people from different background can understand. Basically, an assurance, a company can choose depending on the financial resources the company has to hire an external assurer to examine the quality of the reporting based on observation from internal parties within a company or from observation from internal and external parties. For example, if a company chooses to be assured by looking at evidence from internal parties, the assurer will try to collect evidence interviewing people from inside the company, such as management team members, employees, to ensure that particular information that has been reported by the company has really happened. You with me? Okay. If the company chooses to, to be assured by looking at both evidence, then the assurer need to seek information from, for example, internal parties like employees and from external parties from, for example, local community members in order to gather evidence and so on. So my point is that, firstly, if the information is gathered by both internal and external, we can say that the quality of the information is higher if the engagement of the assurance is based on two kind of evidence, internal and internal and external parties. That's the first, I would say, indicator. Secondly, the indicator is whether the information provided is 100% in line with the criteria in the standard. For example, talking about one indicator of a disclosure, which is employee disclosure, the requirement from GRI, for example, is the company disclosing information about percentage of employees from the aspect of gender, age, level of position, as well as education, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so the indicator of assurance for this aspect is that if the assurance can assess whether all of that information has been disclosed by the company. Okay, and I think another aspect is that the background of the assurer must be reliable, because when the assurer is, has a credible profile, stakeholders will rely on, the assurance done by them. For example, I found a case when I assessed a company's sustainability reporting recently, that the assurer in their assurance report says that they provide two kinds of services, which is we call it as type 1 and type 2. I need to have another session to explain what type 2 and type 1 is. But basically, the assurance must be either type 1 or type 2. Cannot be both, for example. So in this case, we can see that the quality, the way the assurance provide the assurance itself is not quite right. So again, this indicator implies that the quality of information assured is not reliable. Okay, I think in my view, these three indicators are critical in the assurance, but theoretically, there are other indicators which can be used for assurance. Okay, but perhaps we have to have another session to specifically discuss this. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Doctor. Okay, and next question, and this question is addressed to Dr. Annie from Fatima, from Magister Accounting of Udinus. Mrs. Annie, aggressive earning management can lead to fraudulent practices. What strategies should companies implement to improve sustainability through preventing earning management and fraud? Please explain.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Bu Julie. The question from Fatima, Magister Akuntansi Udinus, about she asks about aggressive earning management can lead to fraudulent practices. What strategy should companies implement to improve sustainability through preventive earning management and fraud? And please explain. Okay, this is a good question. What is, if we talk about strategy, as we know, corporate governance strategy is preventing earning management aim to explore how effective governance practices can improve transparency and accountability of financial reporting, which ultimately support long-term business sustainability. And as we know, several elements of corporate governance, such as both independent, strong audit committee, and institutional ownership, play an important role in reducing management's ability to engage in earning management for short-term gains. As you know, independent board of director, company with independent board of director tend to have financial report that are less involved in earning management. So independent board of director are more objective in overseeing management performance more effectively. If application in sustainability, independent board of director help companies make decisions that support long-term sustainability without being tempted by achieving short-term financial target that harms transparency. And then if we talk about strong audit committee, companies that have competent an independent audit committee are more effective in reducing earning management practices. And implementation in sustainability, a competent and proactive audit committee not only function as financial report supervisor, but also maintains the integrity and reputation of the company, which plays an important role in supporting business sustainability. And if we talk about institutional ownership, institutional investors such as bank and pension fund often have a long-term interest and demand more transparency from management. Of course, application in sustainability with increased oversight from institutional investor, companies are more likely to focus on sustainability performance and reduce earning management practice that might harm the company in the future. So the next of our strategies is the application code of ethic and anti-earning manipulation policy. This is maybe the alternative of strategy. As we know, companies that have a strict code of ethics regarding earning manipulation and internal control policies are better able to prevent earning management practices. And a code ethics serves as guide of employer and management to act ethically or responsibly. If we talk about implementation in sustainability, a strict code of ethics support business sustainability by encouraging ethical behavior, which create trust with stakeholder and maintain business stability. Okay, I think this is the so many point strategic that we can apply in the company to improve sustainability through preventing earning management and fraud. Thank you, Bu Julie.
Thank you, Dr. Eni, for the response. And the third question from Robertus Udinus, and this question, I suppose, goes to Dr. Siti. The question is, what step should companies take to ensure that digitalization is not only beneficial from the economic perspective, but also socially and environmentally?
Okay, thank you for the questions. Definitely, if we are talking about sustainability, the organization's role or the strategic role of the organization is very important. We cannot expect that people, for example, reduce usage of papers without the organization put it into the strategic planning. Okay, a clear strategic plan from organization require very clear directions, instructions, and also implementation at the organization level. And to answer how it will benefit others, not only from economic perspective. Okay lah, we could say that okay, by reducing the usage of papers, shift to digital data, digital document, everything, no printing or less printing, we may reduce the cost of the company. But we have to remember, talking about sustainability, it takes long for us to see its impact to the overall community and society. By reducing papers, for example, we can reduce the trees, the cutting of trees. But it is not only the cutting of trees that matters in reducing papers. It's more on the processing, producing the paper itself, how much water they use in the processing. So all that indirectly will preserve our environment. So although one small step taken by one organization, it actually, if we are able to count that or measure that, it may have the possibility for it to impact the general public or the society and community is very big. That is one thing. Number two, from CSR. We know that organizations normally have their CSR initiatives. So this organization will go and help people. That will also help us in achieving inclusiveness under one of the SDG goal. Achieve quality education in SDG 4. Include empowerment. Let's say that I want to talk about a university. We go to the rural areas, we go and find one community that require us to help them in terms of a digital competency. We teach them on how to produce content using their smartphone or telephone whatsoever. So we empower one group of people for them to teach others, so that other people within the community also be able to produce content. What type of content? They may be able to sell their product, they may be able to sell their food, maybe that will improve their livelihood and so on. So these are some of the small examples, initiative by organization that can also have a significant impact to the people. One university in Malaysia, for example, in one of the subject related to sustainability, went to one island, help the people in the island to promote and develop their digital product, their home-based product, digitalize, market online, and so on. So at the end of the day, we can see how far the community changed in terms of economy, in terms of level of their living, and so on. So these are some of the examples that we can do, not only talking about environment, not only talking about financial, but also to help people to improve their life. Hope that I answer your question, because there are many other examples as well.
Thank you very much, Dr. Siti, for the answer. And may I continue?
Sure.
The fourth question. And I guess this question goes to Dr. Fitra Roman. The question comes from Wahdan Arum Inawati from Telkom University, from West Java. And the question is, what company should be the best example for biodiversity disclosure? To be honest, I'm doing research in this topic and still confused to determine research sample. Please give me some advices. Thank you.
Yep. That's a good question, yeah. I think you asked that questions because you are confused about the sample. And I believe that at the moment you specifically look at biodiversity aspect, yeah, perhaps reporting or whatever. Examples. I think I do not have at the moment. I don't really remember what they are. I recently assessed several companies sustainability reporting in which there is some information about biodiversity that I check, right? Because biodiversity is now part of GRI, and there are a lot of companies disclose this specific information. You will find even companies listed in the Indonesia Stock Exchange disclose that information. Okay, so to answer your questions, I would suggest go randomly check some listed companies in Indonesia so that it will be easy for you to identify what the companies are, and look at the annual reports. Search using control find on the PDF files, trying to find biodiversity information. I believe you will find that disclosure in those reports, because in my experience, when I look at 7 companies recently, All of them disclose how they address biodiversity issues in order to comply with the criteria from GRI. Right? One of the companies that I assess, I think, Timah, it also contains information about biodiversity. So I think it's quite easy to find examples disclosing biodiversity information. What is the second question? The first question is example, right? The second question is?
Sorry, she still confused to determine the research samples.
Okay, yeah. Depending on the context of your study, I assume that you now examine biodiversity aspect, whatever it is. For example, the reporting, the disclosure. As I said, it's quite easy to find sample companies disclose that kind of information, particularly after the release of GRI standard applicable from 2018. I hope that that addresses your question.
Thank you very much for the answer, Dr. Fitra.
You're welcome.
Okay. And next, there is a question from Cahya Bagus from Bank Mandiri Indonesia. And the question goes to Dr. Amy. What is the concept of fraud in the context of earning management? And how about earning management that still uses accounting method permitted in generally accepted accounting principle? And when is earning management said to be legal and illegal?
Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Julie. And the question from Cahya, Bank Mandiri Indonesia. She asks about what is the concept of fraud in the context of earning management. How about earning management that still use accounting method permitted in general accepted accounting principle? When is earning management said to be legal and illegal? Okay, if we talk about concept of fraud in the context of earning management, fraudulent earning management involves deliberately manipulating financial statement to deceive stakeholders such as investor, regulator, and creditor with the intention of meeting financial target, improving stock price, or influencing company valuation. And if we talk about earning management using permissible accounting methods, earning management can occur with the generally accepted accounting principle or GAAP framework by exploiting the flexibility allowed within accounting standard. Example of legally permissible earning management practices include when we revenue recognition timing. Example, recognition revenue at the earliest permissible time or delaying it within the GAAP limits to smooth out earning or meet quarterly target. And then when we recognize about expense recognition timing, accelerating of the deferring expenses such as using jar reserves, setting aside extra fund during good time to cover future expenses to smooth earning over time. And then on another sample, when we recognize depreciation and amortization, adjusting the useful life or salvage value of asset to manage the impact of expenses and profit, as long as this adjustment are within reasonable limit. So this method technically allow under GAP, but might still mislead stakeholder if done excessively or with the intent to misrepresent the company actual financial situation. And the next question, when is earning management legal or illegal? If we talk about legal earning management is generally considered legal if it remains within the bounds of GAAP or other applicable accounting standard. This include making discretionary accounting choice to influence earning within permissible limits. And if we talk about legal earning management, when legal earning management seek to present the company's financial performance more favorable without classifying records or knowingly misrepresenting financial results. The important thing is when we talk about legal earning management, use accounting discretion within GAAP to influence earning, but doesn't involve deception. But if we talk about illegal earning management or fraud, involves deceptive practices, record manipulation, and violation on accounting standard to intentionally misrepresent financial outcome. So earning management is the act of management to influence or arrange a company financial statement to achieve a certain target. This can include choosing accounting policies or delaying the recognition of revenue and expenses that are still in accordance with GAAP or generally accepted accounting principle. Earning management become illegal when the manipulation is carried out in a manner that violates accounting standards, such as falsifying financial data, recognize revenue that has not yet occurred, or hiding expenses to show better performance than actually. When these actions are carried out with the intention of deceiving investor, regulators, or shareholders, it is considered an action of fraud. I think this is my answer, Mr. Cahya. Bu Julie, the time is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Bu and your Dr. Annie, for your response. And next is a question from Ahmad Nur Hidayat from Udinus. And the question addressed to, I guess, to Dr. Siti. From my perspective, the sustainability should consider views from shareholders, government, company itself, employees, and society. Is the sustainability increase the value of the company reflected in its share price for public companies, or increase return or profit? And from the company, is the sustainability give incentive to obtain the bonuses or customer appreciation or increase of sales?
Okay, thank you for the question. Yes, definitely initiatives for sustainability require involvement of everybody. Okay, the government, the stakeholders, the organization, leaders, individual people, employees, and so on. Without, if any of this group refuse to respond or refuse to follow the sustainability initiatives, we may fail to achieve what we want to achieve. That is for sure. Okay. Talking about government, for example, in Malaysia, there are a lot of things being done by government. For example, giving tax exemptions for those purchasing EV, electric vehicle, to make sure that the people dependency on the petroleum can be reduced through the purchasing of electric vehicle. A lot of actually incentives are given to the people, to the community, like exemptions of import and excise duty, sales tax exemptions, and then some road tax exemptions, free road tax until, I think if not mistaken, until next year, income tax relief for those purchase install or rent electric vehicle and so on. That is only one example in Malaysia, because we want to make sure that all the initiatives by anybody, not only government, reflects different level of people, different types of people. And how do we measure the benefits? Depending on at what level, at what in which organizations that adopt that. In Malaysia, the government has a very clear direction for sustainability, and the organization that given the mandate to lead all these initiatives is actually Bursa Malaysia. So even banking sectors, financial sectors are now participating in this initiative by, for example, producing products related to sustainability, green bond, green to support green investments and so on. Supporting companies who would like to buy to invest in certain industries that is very serious in terms of sustainability. And all this actually, when we put together, will definitely benefit the people, will definitely benefit the employees, um, by getting more investments. For example, we'll be able it will enable company to produce more, to improve productivity, to explore more markets and so on, and also attract investors of foreign direct investment directly to the company and to Malaysia. So this is all together having impacts. Um, for the, but the issue, the challenge that we face in Malaysia, for example, more than 65% of the organizations are small and medium organizations, or and out of that more than 60%, majority are actually micro level organizations where their awareness, their participations to the sustainability initiatives are actually still at the very minimum level. Even awareness towards sustainability practices is also at the very minimum level at the moment, where government and also the stakeholders, the relevant stakeholders, have to do something on it. Of course, when the company obtain the economic benefits from this cost saving, for example, energy cost saving, we will be able to give more to the employee and community, and everybody will benefit out of it. And one of the initiatives that we are currently encouraging people to do is smart partnership between what we call it government and also private. So this under this private government smart partnership, I give you one example. Companies that is installing solar panel, for example, will be sponsoring the solar panel and will benefit from the extraction of the energy. So they will store the energy for them to sell or whatever to use, and at the same time, the company that allow the installation, or the university, for example, or organization that allow the installation in their organization, will be able to save their costs. So this kind of smart partnership will be able to indirectly or directly benefits the people and also employees and so on. So there are a lot of initiatives that can be done by different parties depending on different roles that they have and different area that they are good at. Thank you.
Thank you for your explanation, Dr. Siti. And Participant, we still have 30 minutes ahead, and I move to the next question. This question is from Yeni PS from KJA. And the question sorry, there's technical problem. And the question goes to Dr. Fitra Roman. As a lecturer in Indonesia, we should have the expertise in accounting. Can you describe the newest expertise in accounting and accounting research? And the second question is, do you think that digital accounting is possible to be the new issue on accounting research besides sustainability accounting?
Yeah. Thank you for the question. If you ask me that question, because my background is sustainability accounting and we are now in the era of that, I would argue that sustainability accounting is the main expertise that we as accounting scholars need to have at the moment in order to address the current challenges, especially to contribute to the achievement of SDGs by 2030, right? Some people may disagree with me, but that's my my view. Okay. In fact, I noticed that there is a question about the challenges in sustainability reporting in the chat box. Okay, having skill, knowledge, expertise in sustainability reporting will encompass understanding, knowledge in a broad sense, right? Because we will be dealing, if you look at the 17 SDGs, we will be dealing, addressing those 17, I would say, disciplines or topics like inclusivity and so on, right? How we, for example, measure a number of sustainability activities, like how we will measure or how we will cost the biodiversity loss that we, as part of the companies, for example, need to report that that value. That's one of the challenges that we need to think about. Okay. So that's my argument, and I hope that I have already provided some support. So measurement, valuation is one of the key challenges in accounting, because we need to record the value and report that, although it is not in a monetary value at the moment. So basically, we are now in the era where we provide information beyond traditional financial accounting, which is beyond monetary value, beyond rupiah, beyond dollars. So we think about how we report a measurement in terms of carbon, for instance, how many animals that we can save, how many animals that a company can save during their operation, and so on. How should we put the value of it? Back to traditional financial accounting, we are thinking about fair value, for instance, which is the value that became a debate in the area of traditional financial accounting. Our debate is now expanded to another kind of measurement. Okay, therefore, I would argue that sustainability accounting is the expertise that we now need. Of course, if you ask another question, if I'm not mistaken, about digitalization of accounting, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, my answer will be yes, it is possible. It is possible. Why it is possible? Because accounting is, as part of social science, needs to adapt with the latest social phenomenon. Okay. If there are impacts on companies' operations from the development of the phenomenon, for example, the advance of technology like AI, if there are impacts on companies' operations, then I think accounting needs to address that. Why? Because from that impact, when a company addresses the impact, there will be activities, and from that activities, the company needs to be responsible and needs to be accountable. From the word accountability itself, we need to assume, we need to conclude that accounting must take a role in that accountability mechanism. Therefore, if there is a change in practice because of the digitalization, then yes, we as accounting scholars need to adapt and need to learn. Whether it becomes your specific area, I can't answer, because becoming an expert of specific area in accounting, it will depend on a person's passion. Like, for example, my fellow speaker, Dr. Siti Zakia, because her interest in technology, I believe that she will be interested in becoming an expert in that particular area. On the other hand, I prefer sustainability accounting itself. I will learn more on that specific area, but will allocate less time to learn about digitalization. I hope that my answer can give you a clue how we should do as an accounting scholar or an accounting academic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Roman.
Thank you, Dr. Fitra, for your answer.
My pleasure.
Participant, we are sorry that we are limited by time, and I think time is up for the Q&A sessions. And participant, we have reached the end of our webinar. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all our distinguished speakers for their valuable insight. We also extend our appreciation to all participants for your active involvement throughout the sessions. But before I close this webinar, I would like to award the certificate to our distinguished speakers. The first certificate goes to Dr. Fitra. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very much for inviting me to contribute to speak at this prestigious forum. Thank you.
You're welcome. And the second certificate goes to Dr. Annie.
Thank you, Mrs. Julie, for the certificate from me.
Thank you, Doctor. And the last certificate goes to Dr. Siti. Thank you very
so
much, Doctor.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure. And I would like to express our gratitude to our sponsor, APSAI, IAI-KAPD, University of Essex, United Kingdom, Malaysia Multimedia University, Malacca, Malaysia, TVKU, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, and Unistech. And you can use this barcode for downloading the materials. Well, participants, we apologize for any shortcomings during the event, and I do hope to see you again in our future program. Once again, thank you and have a great day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and goodbye.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Mr. Roman.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Bu Dr. Siti
See you the next
Zakia.
webinar.
See you again.
I will leave. Thank you. Bye.
Okay,
Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Leave.
Recording stopped.
Mas, aku terkena apa salah? Bawa kita belum kayak teman-teman. Kadang dia nunggu aku, kan juga lesek ya, tanggalnya aku. Yuk ya.